Hello internet friends, my name is Caitlin. Welcome to my channel. As of this morning, my channel just hit over 1,000 subscribers and I'm very thankful for that. You probably think that's no big deal, but I do because I just started YouTube not that long ago and that's very cool to me. So if you're subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of that. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? We're having a good time here. And if you subscribe now, then you can say that you knew me back when, if I ever become like super popular. So let's just subscribe now. And on that note, to reward the subscribers to help me get here, I'm going to do what has been heavily requested, which is react to a Dropout video. Now, y'all have been asking for me to react to Dropout as if I do not know about Dropout. Let me tell you, I love Dropout. I have been subscribed to Dropout for quite some time. It is a dream for me to work with Dropout. I would kill to be on literally anything that Dropout does. So allow me to kill any chance I have of ever working with them by reacting to Make Some Noise. If you are not familiar with Make Some Noise, the premise is essentially they are given a prompt and they then do the prompt. The show is a spin-off of the show Game Changer. Game Changer is a show where the show is different every single time. And this was an episode that was popular and was done a few times, so eventually they just made it its own show. Enter Make Some Noise. Obviously, I have seen this episode before because I have seen every episode of Make Some Noise, but it's a little bit of an older one, so it's been a minute since I've seen it, so I don't remember it, so it's like I've not seen it because I have the memory of a goldfish. And you know I'm a people pleaser, so this is an episode with the Noise Boys. For the uninitiated, the Noise Boys are the original three who started this whole thing. That being Josh Rubin, Zach Oyama, and Brennan Lee Mulligan. So let's start.
Tonight, Jack Nicholson busting down the door in The Shining. It's Josh Rubin.
And I'll blow the door
Okay, I also
down.
love that the intro of this show is prompts
Johnny.
for them to come out to.
Their child
Already
having left
started.
a bunch of Legos on the floor. It's Zach Oyama.
Terry.
Okay. I wish you said something.
And a sitcom actor looking around the bar for the last time in the series finale. It's Brennan Lee
Great prompt.
Mulligan.
Guess it really was Cheers after all.
His entrance is an exit. Love.
They're all here.
Committed. Went all the way around.
Josh,
Yeah, dude. Let's do this.
I bet this will be no problem.
a minivan to Long Island mom transformer.
Great.
No problem. As I
Very
like to say,
detailed.
that'd be my t-shirt if we had merch.
Okay.
Here we go, kids. Okay, kids. Here we are. No, you're not going to Montauk. No one's going to Montauk, okay? We've got some dark bots to fight ahead, kids. Thank you.
Bravo, Josh. Exceptionally
it.
done.
Yep.
Montauk, the kids can't go to Montauk.
Interesting take.
Not till
I'll
I
take
say
it.
so.
15 points for Josh. Zakiyama. Someone who keeps trying and failing to start chants.
Oh, I
in the middle
love that.
of
Okay.
Speech.
Hell no, that ain't right.
Just starting right with it. Okay.
Hell yes, that is right. Hell yes.
Got you up there, Zach. A lot
Okay.
of disagreements, a lot of agreement.
So, interesting thing with that, I interpreted that prompt very differently than he did, which is fine, but it's interesting to see how people will interpret things differently, and that could make things go a different way when you're improvising. So, I thought of that as like the person giving the speech was trying to start a chant. So, I would have done it like I'm giving a speech and then trying to get the audience to chant for me. But he did it as he was in the audience trying to start a chant with the audience, like getting them to chant along, which is also great. Two different interpretations of the exact same prompt. That can happen in a lot of different ways when you're doing improv, just people interpreting different situations in different ways or different suggestions. Like you may interpret something a different way. And that's just interesting. That'll add different flavor and character because our minds work differently, especially creative people. Like, we will interpret things differently. We'll think of different ideas and take them a different route. So I just thought that was interesting that we interpreted that in different ways. I liked his take on it, though. It was really cool.
That's them right down the middle.
We didn't get it going.
I will also give 15 points to you, Brennan. A grizzled war vet recounts a Black Friday sales event.
What am I thankful for? I guess I'm thankful
Good object work.
that all of you look so fat and happy. Your faces stained with cranberry sauce like a bunch of fucking animals. You know what's coming tomorrow? It was 96. I was posted up in the parking lot of a Sam's Club. Bunch of these tent lickers out here in their sleeping bags waiting for opening. They mistook a noise of the electricity getting turned on in the automatic doors for the sounding flare. Well, goddamn, they crashed through the gate fast as they're running to the goddamn bulls. I saw a grown man with a baby in a Bjorn punch his fist through the back of a clerk's throat, grab the spine, and make through a plate glass window with a tickle me Elmo. You better believe one thing. When tomorrow comes, the only thing blacker than the Friday will be the souls of those sorry sinners looking to get their ill-gotten goods.
Incredible, Brennan. I never know when to cut you off.
Deep
There's a big
lore.
imaginary spotlight
A
shining on you in
whole
my mind.
world was built. I
50 points
believed
for Brennan.
every word of that. That was a
Joshua.
real man.
A voice disguised
Commitment.
witness in a true crime documentary accidentally reveals exactly who they are.
I love this prompt.
Him chop off everyone's heads. I was really afraid to go back at work. You know, being team captain, everyone looks up to me because they call me Happy, because, you know, it's like, that's my name.
Team captain. Name
but
is
yeah,
Happy.
I was really worried to go back to Best Buy, especially being in the middle
Best
of
Buy.
Chelsea, you know, 23rd
Chelsea.
and 6th Avenue.
The address.
Working all of the shifts, I mean, pretty much from 9 a.m. to 9
Shift times.
p.m. You can find me every day of the week. There's only so many people named Happy who work at Best Buy in Chelsea in New York City on 23rd Street, 6th Avenue, who have bared witness to a serial killer who's chopped off the heads of multiple people. Did I make a big mistake, and can I get eyes on this edit?
100 points for Josh. A clean 100.
Incredible.
Zach.
Yes.
A scientist describing how the world is going to end using only the contents of a bark box.
You're not listening to me, General.
Such a good start.
This is a ball with a tail on it. This is the comet heading straight for Earth. And this
Yeah.
doggy treat is the population of Washington, D.C. As the comet caresses by, the tail sort of representing the ice freezing our planet. This
Okay.
big plastic fire extinguisher represents our missile defense system. We can only take out so many ice trails at a time before we're all doomed.
And cut.
Great. So what I like about that is that was like improv of improv. So he was obviously improvising that, but he was improvising someone having to improvise. So imagine that the character he's playing, all they had was the bark box to explain the situation. So Zach is having to improvise being someone who has to improvise explaining it, and the only visual aids they have are dog treats and toys and items. So the layers of that are really great. But also it just showcases that people have to improvise in everyday life. It's a skill that whether you're doing it as a performance or you're just doing it as a person, being able to improvise is a great life skill. Just being able to think of things on the fly and understand how to use everyday items and everyday situations to your advantage is a good life skill. For example, the other day I was talking to someone who's running a D&D campaign and was struggling with it, and I was like, it's improv. Just bullshit your way through it. Your players don't know what you don't know. You know the end point you have to get them to, and you know the lore and the story, so make up what you need to make up to get them where they need to go. They don't know. Just improvise. And that will work. It's a great skill to have. That's why I always tell people, like, even if you just take like an intro class to understand like very basic things about improv to get you comfortable in your own skin and just to let loose and stuff, it's a great life skill to have. And I don't know, that just kind of reminded me of the basic idea of everybody can and should know how to improvise a bit in their everyday life.
Brilliant. I will say 101 points.
There you go.
Oh, Dalmatians ref.
Brennan, last prompt of round 1.
Shit.
The moment in the show where the lore goes so deep they lose you.
My God. We were wrong. When the Nephilim were first born, children of the eldest seraphs and mortal beings, humans, they broke the divine seal that St. Thomas Aquinas had referred to in the initial tracts post-Nicene Council. What we find at this point is the seraphs never had to venture the earthly realm. Those mortals had already ascended. So in that moment, the seventh seal was already broken. Lucifer's rebellion was ex post facto invalidated. The devil was never banished to perdition because perdition never existed in the first place. Essentially, we are left with two factions. The neutral angels that we mistook for the spirits of nature that were warned about by the scripts and texts we found on the clay tablets on the Isle of Mona. Tracing those back, we can now see God and the serpent were in fact one and the same, which is why you, Ashley and Max, as two teenagers from Palo Alto, California, were selected above all others to be the truth slayer and the keeper of lies.
It's this when we learned that the movie is targeted at 14-year-olds. Does this make sense to you?
I think it's still in one piece.
We'll say a legendary.
Incredible amount of ridiculous lore that makes no
that
sense.
brings us to
Just
the mini game.
come up
this
with details.
Will be a toss-up. The players all have their buzzers.
He's very good at
We'll
that
now
stuff. He
buzz
runs a lot
in
of D&D
and
campaigns.
create bullshit
If you're into
in
that
the
stuff,
given
watch Dimension
category.
20. A lot of
The
his
category
campaigns are run by
is
Brennan.
The Vocal Warm-Up Research and Development Committee. I want to hear the newest additions in the repertoire.
Hold on 1 second. I love this. This is something that me and my friends actually did like years ago. We were rehearsing for something or working on a project. I don't know. I just remember we were all hanging out and we were doing bits, which is, if you have any friends that are comedians, everything will turn into a bit at some point. And for some reason, the bit we were doing that day was doing fake vocal warm-ups. For some reason, there is one that I came up with that I remember to this day, which was Kevin McAllister is home alone with the wet bandits. Kevin McAllister is home alone with the wet bandits. Kevin McAllister is home alone with the wet bandits. I don't know why. We thought it was really funny and it was stupid and it makes no sense, but that's what we did. That is my submission for this category.
Brennan.
The minimum amount of cinnamon that we can be swimming in is less than 17.
Zach.
Cat scratch fever is made out of a deer. Cat scratch.
Yeah, say it again.
Cat scratch fever is made out of a deer.
Josh.
The ghost with the most is Beetlejuice.
Yes.
The ghost with the most is Beetlejuice.
Brennan.
Yeah.
I hork down shark pork on my park of larb.
I love that. That's just nonsense.
The weevil on the steeple is found among the people. The weevil on the steeple is found among the people.
Ruh-roh, I don't know.
Ruh-roh, I don't know.
Ruh-roh, I don't know.
Brennan. Effective as a vocal warm-up, arguably more effective than anything we've heard so far. Josh.
I lost everything I have in Robin Hood.
That, for the record, that was exactly what it was like, just sitting around with my friends doing this, but we did it for like an hour. So for anyone that's curious, this is what it is like hanging out with other performers and comedians. We just do stupid stuff like this all the time for no reason. It's just a lot of that for no reason. For no one, just for us to laugh at each other. So, yeah.
The long-awaited meeting between Times New Roman and Comic Sans.
This is such
I see
a good prompt.
you haven't brought any serifs with you. Perhaps that's where the sans in your name comes from. Sans from the French without.
God,
See,
the
you
character
brought
here.
your entire centurion forces behind you.
New centurions for a new century, my friend. I'm gonna straight up kill you.
I understand that your forces are to be taken seriously, but I am a man of the people, and I wish that you would see that in your heart.
What mercy do you think you will find in my heart? The fields behind me are littered with the bodies of fonts braver and more cunning than you. Baskerville lies dead in the dust. Apple Chancery is nothing but a distant memory. I struck down Helvetica. Do you think your posted, handwritten invitation on an old school blog, come to my birthday party this weekend, I want to insinuate that it's going to be fun? By the time I'm done with you, you're gonna look like webdings, my friend.
Don't you mean wingdings?
What?
That
Is
is
it wingdings
so
or is it webdings?
incredible.
God, I hope it's wingdings.
I think it's both. I'm not sure.
I
if
do
they're the
think it's
same
both. I think there's two different fonts. Not that that matters. Okay, when I heard the prompt, that was so juicy. And as soon as Brennan started, immediately it's like, yes, okay, he's Times New Roman. You can feel it immediately, like, yes, I got it. The whole point of that is the juxtaposition between those fonts. Times New Roman being very serious and Comic Sans, very goofy, silly, a little bit comical, essentially. So I expected Zach to come in with a lot more charismatic, silly, kind of goofball, almost like court jestery vibes. That's what I would have done if I was in his position, especially with Brennan immediately establishing up front his energy. I feel like Zach came in and kind of matched his energy up top almost. Like it felt very equal rather than a very obvious like mismatch energy, which is what I was expecting. Is it wrong? No, it's just a choice. Zach made a different choice than I would have made, and that's fine. Choices are just choices. There's not a right or a wrong choice in improv. There are things you can do wrong in improv, but that was not a wrong thing. It was just a different choice. And the scene was still very interesting and very funny and it worked. I just would have done it differently and I was expecting something different based on the prompt we got, which gives me an idea for a future video if you guys are interested in it. If I ever do another video on Make Some Noise, would you guys be interested in seeing what I would do with the prompts? So for example, me hearing the prompt, pausing the video, giving you guys my interpretation of the prompt, and then playing the video to see what they do with it. That's an option for future videos. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments, but we'll do that in the future, potentially, maybe, if you guys want.
Brennan and Josh.
Okay.
A child brings a magical snowman to life who is very concerned about dying again.
Okay, and now the final touch. This carrot that I took from the kitchen. Here we go.
Listen, I don't have much time.
Immediately high stakes.
I can't look at you. I don't have muscles.
Okay,
Listen. I see you.
Okay.
I see you, okay? What day is it today? Do you know the date?
It's Christmas Day, December 25th, 1996.
Great. That's great. We have time, okay? It's not gonna get warm until probably March, okay? So you have time. I need you to go to the big old house up on the hill. You're a brave little boy, right? Aren't you a brave little boy? You will find a scroll in the basement of that house, okay?
So
That
much
scroll
lore.
has a list of 17 names. You are going to look for the 17th name, which should say Alistair Smythe. Listen to me! Don't
don't fucking yawn! I was a man, not a snowman! I know it's too much to ask of a child, but you need to fix this, okay?
And I'll cut you off there. Excellent button, Josh. Excellent lore, Brennan. I expect...
Okay, I hate to pause again, but that was so good. I'll just point out a few things that made it really good. First of all, Brennan, with bringing in so much lore and backstory. Again, I want to see the whole movie. Who is the man? What did he do to turn into a snowman? What is on the scroll? Who were the other 16 men? How does he turn back? There's so much lore that was given in that tiny snippet of time. Incredible. And then you have Josh, his physicality as the kid. He's not even saying anything, but his physicality of this kid who clearly is too young to be dealing with this. You can tell just by like, he's overwhelmed and also just not paying attention. He's not gonna help. You can already tell this snowman is doomed. It's so good in such a short amount of time because of what they're both giving in that scene. It's great. It's A+ work. I cannot give you a single note about that to do better because it was just perfectly executed.
2 astronauts compete for the quote that will go down in history.
Well, that's one flag that I just put in the moon.
We put this flag on the moon together because together we can do anything.
But
No.
is there a better way to put a flag on the moon than to do it in a big blue spoon?
As astronauts, we have a duty to our people to make them dream big, and no one dreams bigger than us here today. And I'm gonna put it right back here.
Yeah, but also sometimes when you take a spaceship, you see all kinds of things that are really, really important.
Despite my partner's space madness, I'm doing this for everyone, including Jerry.
And I'll cut you off with
Really
the
good.
homicide. Very good players, 45
Great.
points for you.
There was a good character
Zach
dynamic
and
there too, where we had like
a time
Zach's character seemed to be more of a normal guy up front. Like, we're doing this for everyone. He was saying more normal things. And you had Josh's character who was just kind of a selfish weirdo. And it escalated really quickly, which you need to do in a scene like this. But it was interesting how that character trait kind of naturally developed for both of them, because Josh had to come in and immediately, because of the premise, had to try to one-up him. So it created character dynamics really quickly, which is just interesting to see.
traveler trying to figure out what year it is without drawing too much attention to themselves.
How's it going there, stranger? Funny getup you got there.
Oh, doing a vaudeville show?
Doing a vaudeville show? Jeepers creepers, Buster. You're more old-timey than my pop-pop.
Oh, yeah, I'm
What, are you gonna head to the Nickelodeon afterwards?
Nickelodeon.
Give me a break.
Yes, yeah, I don't have my, not phone, because I wouldn't be here.
Rip it out of the wall, did you?
Right.
Say, mister, you're dressed in tin foil like a baked potato.
Yeah.
Tin
very
foil's only 3 years old at this point.
What are you up to today?
Well, I'm gonna head on down to City Hall and report my fair share of communists.
Oh, interesting, awesome. Well, I want you to know, first off, before I walk out of here, not a communist.
Saying you're not a communist is one of the first thing those Reds do.
I will cut you off there.
Great.
1950 amount of points for you. Is that about right? What
I was
the
thinking,
Red Scare?
like 40s into 50s.
We can
for
look
sure.
up 3 years. Tinfoil has been out for 3 years.
Tinfoil.
Someone could say
Detail.
1973, and another person could say 1875. And I would be like,
Totally.
Yeah.
great.
Absolutely.
The tinfoil detail is great because it doesn't matter when it happened. It's just a great detail to put in there. It's goes with the premise. It's a very specific date detail. All it really is doing is showing that Brennan's character knows exactly what year it is and Zach's doesn't. It doesn't matter if it's accurate or not. It's just a fun detail to throw in.
Right.
Last one of this round, Brennan and Josh.
Okay.
Thomas Jefferson getting notes from his Hollywood agent on the Declaration of Independence.
Great.
Greetings, you have reached Thomas Jefferson. I'm answering the phone in real life right now, and if you speak, I will hear you.
Hey, Tommy J, we have Ari on the line. We have your agent Ari. You got him? Okay, great. Hey, Tommy J, what's up?
Ari, my agent, hello.
Listen, did a quick skim of that scroll thing. I have a few notes. First of all, can't really read it. I don't know if I know you wrote it with longhand, is it?
I wrote it with quill and ink, as is the custom.
Hey, Meredith. Can you go ahead and get Tommy J Final Draft 12? Because if we don't, here's the thing, Tommy J. Places like Stage 6, Sony, Warner Brothers, Tubi, Arrow, they're not going to be able to sort of find it clean and digestible, okay? You picking up what I'm putting down, bud?
The only person I need to digest my proclamation is King George III, tyrant that he is.
Right on, right on. And by the way, just real quick, we want to make sure you got an invite to the Indie Film Spirit Awards tonight at 7 o'clock.
Am I not already on the list?
Well, I got Ray Romano on the other line, and...
Yeah, patch Ray through.
Oh, okay.
Patch Ray through.
Yeah, sorry. Can we patch Ray through?
Ray, I've been waiting for punch-up on this declaration for weeks now. What's going on?
Tom,
Yeah, I'll definitely cut you off there. I don't know how we ended up with an entirely different prompt.
Let us do Ray Romano helps Thomas Jefferson.
That's such a good choice. Again, like there's so many choices you can make with these prompts. You can go a million different directions. For Josh to make the choice that the agent is going to be a modern day agent with modern day technology and everything that he's talking about is today's things, you know, Final Cut, the Spirit Awards, Ray Romano, everything he's referencing is modern. But Thomas Jefferson is still in Thomas Jefferson's time. It's just a fun dynamic to play with, and that's really interesting. He could have chosen to be in the same timeline as Thomas Jefferson, and that still would be fun to play with. But what a fun choice to just be like, agent, modern day, let's play with that trope, and then throw that in with Thomas Jefferson. Such a fun choice, and that's what makes improv so fun, is you can really choose and play with anything you want. It makes such fun worlds that we can just create and goof off in, and I wonder what that would be like. Let's find out. Let's just present that reality and go there for a minute and explore that. It's so fun, and that's why I love doing improv so much. We get to see these worlds. Even if for just 30 seconds or a minute, we get to be there for that time.
That brings us to the minigame. The minigame is Translator. And for this, I'm going to ask Josh to take center stage. Josh will be playing our politician, and a combination of Zach and Brennan will be playing his translator. They will each be translating every other line.
Okay, real quick. I'm just going to break this down because you like when I teach you stuff. So this is a very common game that gets played in short form improv theaters pretty much everywhere you go. Premise of it is Josh is going to be speaking in gibberish, and Brennan and Zach are going to be translating for him. There's a lot of different formats to this game. A lot of times you'll see it in like an interview. You'll see it being a speech that's being given. Sometimes it's like a poetry reading. There's a lot of different ways it can be done. However it's done, typically the person who is speaking in gibberish does have an idea in their head of what they are saying when they're speaking gibberish. They just don't say it. They say gibberish words. But in their head, they have an idea of what they would be saying if they were speaking English. Typically, they will use a lot of hand gestures and kind of miming to sort of get an idea across of what they are saying. So they're giving their scene partners some idea of things that they can say. If you're in the translator role, you'll take note of what they are doing so that you have clues of what you can say, but you don't really want to be accurate to it. It's actually typically more funny if you look at what they're doing and you intentionally come up with an alternate use for that motion. So a very basic example of something like this is if they are supposed to be doing a demonstration on cooking and they're doing some kind of motion where it looks like they're supposed to be like stirring or whatever, you would then interpret it as they're dancing or something like that. So obviously very intentionally wrong interpretation of their motions to make it funnier for the audience. But that's really the gist of the game. The person talking is just going to say some gibberish things and typically be moving their hands quite a bit, and the interpreter is just going to say whatever they want to make that person kind of look a bit odd and weird and like they don't really know what they're talking about. That's the general gist of it. All right, so let's see it in action.
of Josh's spiel. Josh, I will kick you off with a topic. Your topic is a new scientific discovery.
Hello.
People of Staten Island.
A lot of motion.
You've been very bad and the robots are coming.
So, robots.
So, grippo da cacce. Prendo banano. Uh-oh. Giugia.
If you get killed by a robot, friends, that's on you.
Ebrone bunch. Cuckoo. Babrobce.
If you get shot at by a robot, that's on you.
Now, it puts everybody. What? Oh, wow. Aprocupa chakalaka wow, titops.
If you pour milk in your eyes, you'll be able to see
Okay.
the invisible robots.
Yeah.
Put it back. Oh.
I gotta go.
Base gonna this gonna make my car and became.
Me and some guys are headed to Fuddruckers after this. I'm not sure if you're all busy, but feel free to swing by.
Fantastic. All three of you. Wow.
I wonder how many points we got.
Great point.
So perfect
One
example
great
there
point.
where he clearly was doing like binoculars and looking up at the sky, and Brennan said, you know, he's pouring milk in his eyes. So that was a clear example of the intentionally getting the motion wrong for it to be funnier. So kind of a textbook example of how that game tends to go. So there you go.
Taking this one at a time, please. No need to talk over each other. Messages on Sam's answering machine.
Hey, what's up, Sam? It's me. Mama June. Just kidding, it's Josh. Listen, I need grocery money. And I was just kind of hoping maybe I could make some nice or do
What
pretty
a
much
good
anything. Look, I don't even know
self-report.
what D20 is. Never heard of it. I'm seeing a lot of clips of Brandon working. But for real, beep, beep, beep. Yeah, 1 second. 1 second. Look, I just got that. You're my last quarter. All right.
Oh.
Hey, Sam, it's Zach. I was just calling. I don't know how this works. For some reason, when you Google my name, one of the first things that comes up is Zach Oyama fired from a YouTube live video where you fire me as a joke. And I'm just like, wonder, like, I wonder if there's a way, like, to like, I don't know how priorities work on that. It's just
I'm guessing
confusing.
this is
Some
real.
people think I'm actually fired.
That's too true.
Okay.
Hey, Sam, it's Brennan calling. So there's a TikTok of me pretending to be a dragon slipping on a banana peel, and a group of teens have mobilized to burn my home down.
Is this
so
real?
If we could put a disclaimer on the TikTok that says, yes, I was saying I wanted to conquer the world, but I was doing it as a fictional dragon.
What?
Not a guy who lives in the world and is a real person with feelings. So hit me up as soon as you can, and please help me. Help me.
Disclaimer appears before all of these jokes, loosely based on a true story.
I need
It
to look up the
is-
Brennan
at this point
dragon
that I
thing
would like to
later. That's
remind, everyone
crazy.
that I wrote 270 of these. Two sides of a pistachio shell fighting, being pulled apart to protect the pistachio.
Incredible.
What's
You're gonna
happening?
be all right. You're gonna be all right.
Okay. Is this real? Is this really happening? All right.
Listen, our seam is almost all the way closed.
No.
There's so many pistachios in this bag that have a wider seam than we
Okay.
have. They're
So we're
gonna
fine.
they're gonna
We're gonna
put
be
us back
fine,
in the
right?
bag. That's exactly right.
You gotta stay positive, okay? I feel
This is so
oh
good.
God, I feel a fucking shadow. Okay, the bag's moving. The bag's moving.
Oh my God.
This is normal. You're gonna be okay. All right. Look, we're gonna feel a finger. It's gonna be rooting around for a pistachio. Okay.
that's right. It doesn't mean
Just
it's
because you
us.
feel a finger doesn't mean that it's us. Okay.
Stay calm.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Stay calm. Hold on to me.
I feel my fucking shot.
Okay. Listen. Okay. Listen. You're gonna lose us, okay? What I need you to do is this. When it opens all the way, drop into the bag. Drop to the floor and go into the table. Yes, you can. Drop into the table.
That's art.
What an incredible closer!
Guys.
Eat your heart out, Band of Brothers.
Truly, though.
That brings
really.
us to the end of our show.
I gotta know who
winner
wins.
tonight
I can't end it
is
without knowing who wins.
Josh Rubin.
Claps to Josh.
Wow.
And I will end it there. Guys, that was Make Some Noise. I love that. After that last scene, you cannot say that improvisers are not actors. That was good. I love Dropout. They have a ton of really creative, very cool series. If you can afford another subscription service, I really highly recommend it. It's full of very funny, very talented people. And if you're watching my channel, then I know the content on there is definitely up your alley. Definitely go support them if you can. And their YouTube channel does have free content on it. So if you can't afford to subscribe to Dropout, you can still check out some of that stuff on their YouTube channel to see what they're all about. Speaking of subscribing, thank you guys again so much for getting me over 1,000 subs. That was very exciting for me as a new YouTuber. So if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys, as always, for giving me recommendations of what to react to. Keep doing that. I do look at those, and it does steer me towards what my next video is going to be. And let me know if you guys want me to watch more of these and give you guys my own interpretation of the prompts, because I will do that if you guys want me to. But only if you want me to, because I'm not going to embarrass myself on the internet unless you guys really want me to. If you liked the video, please click the like button. It looks like this. And if you haven't by now, please subscribe. And I'll catch y'all on the next video.